you're not crazy. You're going through a spiritual awakening and you're gonna be okay. But my name is Ashton and I am a yoga teacher. I am transgender. It's one of the coolest things about me. As I'll say in every video, I want to start by talking about the fact that when you first begin on your spiritual awakening journey, you start to realize that you're dissatisfied with how things are going. For me, to parallel my trans experience, I started to feel like, you know what, as things are right now, I know I'm meant to do something more. I'm kind of dissatisfied. So I knew that I needed to transition and transcend the identities and the way that my life had been going up until that point. So you may be a teacher or a stay-at-home mom, or you may be a student in college, and you may be starting to question, you know what, is this really it? There's gotta be more to life than just this, okay, go to school or go to work and come home and just make a paycheck and that's all there is. So for me, I started to question, you know what, why can I not embody the person more of who I know deep down I'm having a calling to express? For me, it manifested in my gender transition. For you, it may manifest in completely different other ways. My baby kitty is sitting on my notes right now. And so you start to question, you know, is this really all that there is? And you have a longing for a sense of peace and fulfillment, because really what's happening is as you become aware that you are the universe expressing itself, you are God, you are divinity expressing itself here in the world, in the universe, and you're so much more than a compilation of identities that you've been told, like you're a student or you're this job or that job, or you're, you know, a son or a mother or a father or anything like that, which you are all of those beautiful things, but you're so much more. And with my gender transition, I started to shed the illusion that I'm just my body, when really I knew if I felt like I was more than my body, like I wanted to transform my body, that I must not just be my body, right? And so I must be more than that. And what is more than that? You know, it's a soul, it's divine consciousness experiencing itself in every moment for just the sake of experiencing. And so you really start to just push up against all the illusions that you've had in your life up to this point. You may not be able to, you know, watch reality television anymore. You might become a lot more sensitive to that. You might be more sensitive to violent movies. You might start, you know, losing friends or losing habits that are no longer serving you, because you recognize that they're based in really fear or other people's stories about how you're supposed to live your life, and you know that there's something more. But at this point it might be dark, because you start to question, okay, if I'm losing the people that I can no longer spend my time with, and I don't have you know, all these habits that are no longer serving me, maybe going out to bars, which I love to go out and be social, everything like that, but maybe that pattern as it stands in your life right now is an attempt to kind of fill a void that you're really seeking a long-term sense of peace and fulfillment. And if you can't, you know, continue to participate in that kind of thing, then, you know, you lose your sense of routine and you wonder, okay, well, what's next? And there might be a sense of isolation or emptiness, like especially as a trans person, you come out as trans and you know that you come out as trans and you know that you're meant to express so much more of yourself, but you may have people that no longer support you in your life, and you may lose, like I said, lose friends and things like that as you start to become aware of the fact that in life, you can either choose fear or love in every moment. And a lot of the things in society, like the things we see on TV or the stories that politicians share or social media, it's so fear-based And you start to notice that I have a choice to claim love in so many other areas of my life. And so as you recognize that, you really are love, you can really, want to push away from all the other people that are still in the fear-based stories of your lives. And you just kind of see all the illusions and the fear-based illusions of society. And that can be really scary, but ultimately you know that through the darkness, through the isolation, through the place where you maybe know there's a bigger vision for your life, but you haven't gotten there yet, that's really like the dark night of the soul, where you're like, nothing right now. I am so much bigger than all of this, and I have so much more to give, but what's the next step? The next step is to, the kitty fur in my mouth. The next step is to, in the darkness, when you feel isolated, when you feel like there's so much fear in the world, what am I gonna do? Like, acknowledge that that fear is there and show up with love, show up with compassion, show up with your light in those moments, knowing that you really ultimately are here to bust open, to be the light, to pull people up into the light of the fact that we are all here as divine beings to express love and enjoy this journey of human experience through the pain, through all of it. And you create a vision for your life. Start writing down, what is the vision? What is the heart's calling? What is the desire that's bigger than what I see right now? For me, it was, okay, I know I need to transition, and initially that's the next right step. Okay, start transitioning. And that was me choosing love over fear. I could have stayed in the illusion of fear. Everybody else telling me, no, you can't transition because that's not what society wants you to do. And I pushed against this and I said, screw it, I'm gonna do it anyway, because I know that love is calling me to do more with my life. And I listened to that, and luckily listening to faith and love over fear is how you're gonna get through the darkness. And you may have to shed some people in your life, or behaviors or habits or things. And initially, like I said, it's gonna be dark, and that's okay, because ultimately, as you continue to be more of the light and embody more of who you really are and be more of the love and just be the light, those people will see the light in you and they will come back around. My mom did not support me in the beginning of my transition, but over Christmas, she got me this this necklace, and it says, "To my son, I want you to believe deep in your heart that you are capable of achieving anything you put your mind to, that you will never lose, that you will win or learn. Just go forth and aim for the skies. I can't promise to be here for the rest of your life, but I can promise to love you for the rest of mine. Love, Mom." And she really has come around in the last 7 years because I've lived in the light. And she's seen how much more expansive and much more loving and at peace and dynamic I have become since honoring my truth. So keep the vision, even in the darkness, even in the fear that you may be pushing up against. Honor it and write down, meditate, do visualizations, really embody on a cellular level the new vision for your life. And I promise you, I have been in the depths of the darkness of what that feels like. And I have held the vision, 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 and had the faith that I knew that I would get out of it, and I would become a yoga teacher, and I would get a great apartment, and I would start living in my truth every moment of the day. And I knew, things were dark. I've talked about this on my channel. I was in the hospital. I was so scared. I was like so consumed by fear, because I really had to acknowledge the fear-based stories, all the scary fear stories. Like, you have to take a responsibility for your life up until this point. Like, wow, I really do. I really am the universe expressing itself through a human body. I really do have responsibility for my life to take action beyond external circumstances that happen to me. It's like, yeah, it's scary to take responsibility for how your life has gone up to this point, because most of the time you don't break through, you don't have these awakenings and this dissatisfaction to have this catalyst to do something and expand, to be bigger, if things haven't gotten hard. So you do, you have to recognize things as they aren't working, and that's scary to take responsibility for how things are going in your life up to this point, but it's worth it. Move through it. Know that you're gonna be okay. Know that this is all about preparing you for a sense of sustainable peace and happiness, regardless of the fear. It's possible. I promise you that I have been there through literally hell and back, and it's possible to get out and get to your vision and get to the other side and really claim the life. It may take 2-3 years, it may take whatever, but it's going to happen. You're going to move through it, and you're going to get to the other side if in every moment you choose love over fear. So that's really just the gist of it so far. Like, we can get deeper into this. I'm going to, I am working my butt off behind the scenes. I know I don't post as many videos as I want to, and I just did a TEDx talk, so that will be up in a few weeks. I'll let you know. And I've just been busy doing TEDx things. My website now, ashtoncolby.com, is up. As I've been doing more speaking at universities and colleges and at high schools, and to medical practitioners and all of that, to educate them on just more expansive concepts. Like I said, as I'm doing stuff like TED Talks, that's something I'm really moving towards, and I've had the vision for that, and I'm expanding and making that happen, as well as Gender Euphoria, spelled YOU.com, is going to be below. That's another project that I'm working on, because really, ultimately, we are the stories that we choose about ourselves. If we just want to be this body and live in fear and be scared and disconnected from love and whatever, we can choose that. But if we want to choose the narrative that, for me, sounds more empowering, like we're so much more than our bodies. We're here, we're divinity, love, light expressing itself in every moment, here to have fun. Regardless of whether there's things that are hard in our lives, like, we have a divine right of joy and peace and happiness and fulfillment, and I truly believe that. And Gender Euphoria is really about claiming a new narrative of the trans experience, beyond fear, beyond the fear-based diagnosis of gender dysphoria, because I really feel like the seeds that you plant in every new journey that you go on really affect the outcome, and you really have to set a clear intention. If your intention is gender dysphoria, get rid of gender dysphoria, fix something that's broken, you will find more gender dysphoria. And you might get little bits of glimmer here and there, but if you want to transform your entire life, not just your body, you want to transform your emotional sense of being, your mental health, your spiritual wellness, then you can set a clearer vision, which is, for me, Gender Euphoria, spelled YOU, because really, ultimately, you have the power to set a more expansive vision and re-engineer everything you want beyond the illusions of what anybody else would tell you that your life has to be. And so you can click the link to, you can either follow Gender Euphoria on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram, it's just Ashton James Colby, and go to gendereuphoria.com so you can get signed up for the email list of when we launch. And until next time, stay awesome, because you literally already are awesome. I'm in awe of you. I love you. You are the universe expressing itself through divine creation, and you're gonna be okay. I promise you, you're gonna be okay. If I can be okay through everything I've experienced, and you're gonna be okay. I love you. I love you. I love you. It is going to be okay. Have a great rest of your day.